Lose weight. Yes, I know that is quite the revelation, but anyway. Today, as I was waking up from my slumber and adjusting my monocle, I was greeted with an article of glorious stupidity. So the CEO of Sweetgreen, a restaurant that serves salads, Jonathan Neiman, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name, he came out and spoke against the obesity problem when it comes to COVID, which you'd think, if you are not insane and out of your fucking mind, is a sane and rational position. But we're dealing with Twitter here, so that's out the fucking window. Shutting up is literally free, so is not stuffing your face, you fat ass. But Jonathan Neiman, co-founder and the CEO of Sweetgreen, recently published a post, which he then took down after Vice pointed it out, essentially blaming fat people for the ravages of the pandemic and calling on the government to create a health mandate. Funny, you people want the government to create a vaccine mandate and funnel billions of taxpayer-funded profit to Big Pharma. The guy who sells you food is pure evil, but Big Pharma is just a choir of angels descending from the heavens with fat stacks of cash for lobbying Congress. But my God, heaven forbid someone suggests the onus is on you to not turn into Jabba the fucking Hutt. The crux of his argument was as simple as it is stupid. Oh, how can I say this without being mean? Dear fucking jackasses, if you're going to critique someone, right, and yes, I know the left does not know what that word means, never start by calling them stupid. You look petty and childish. Not to mention, if you're wrong, you just went out of your way to make yourself look like a smug, pompous jackass, and considering you're a leftist, the probability of that is not only very high, it's borderline fucking guaranteed. You know what? Let's read the guy's post. 78% of hospitalizations due to COVID are obese and overweight people. Is there an underlying problem that perhaps we have not given enough attention to? Is there another way to think about how we tackle healthcare by addressing the root cause? 1. COVID is here to stay for the foreseeable future. We cannot run away from it, and no vaccine nor mask will save us. In full disclosure, I am vaccinated and support others to get vaccinated. Our best bet is to learn how to live with it and focus on overall health versus preventing infection. 2. We have been quick to put in place mask and vaccine mandates, but zero conversation on health mandates. All the while, we have printed unlimited money to soften the blow the shutdowns have caused to our country. 3. What if we focused on the root cause and used this pandemic as a catalyst for creating a healthier future? We clearly have no problem with government overreach on how we live our lives, all in the name of health. However, we are creating more problems than we are solving. What if we made the food that is making us sick illegal? What if we tax processed food and refined sugar to pay for the impact of this pandemic? What if we incentivized health? Repairing our food system could save us $2 trillion a year in direct costs, $1 trillion in healthcare, and another trillion in environmental impact. Our time is now. Now, between this idiot who wrote, who made his fortune selling $11 to $15 guacamole green salads and shumami bowls, if he made his millions doing that, it means people willingly bought his food. What an asshole providing a product that people consume and enjoy. And then this bint on Twitter who wrote, the government should coerce people to buy salad is a hell of a convenient belief for a salad millionaire. Did you notice? He doesn't promote his food or his business in his entire post. If it didn't mention Jonathan's job title, we'd have no idea he was the CEO of a business. But this twat accuses him of government coercion. The lack of self-awareness is nuts. Then calls BMI racist, saying BMI was invented about 200 years ago in an era that saw the creation of pseudoscientific theories such as social Darwinism that were used to justify nationalism, racism, and eugenics. The index was established by Belgian mathematician Lambert Adolphe Jacques Quetelet, who sought to measure the height and weight of the average man based on a sample of white European men. He saw this average as an ideal. He's in Europe in the 19th century, you lunatic. Who the fuck do you think he was going to use as the basis for an average? And how is that racist and nationalistic, but you're using European in a nationalistic context? It's shit like this that makes Europeans think Americans are so fucking stupid. Europe is a continent, not a country, you pillock. This stupid leftist narrative that Europeans are just this amorphous blob united by skin color has no basis in reality. This is a group of people who were kicking the shit out of each other in the first half of the last century in 2 world wars. These retards don't know anything. Oh, I'm sorry for swearing so much, but these people really piss me off. Can you imagine? You went back in time in the 1800s and told this guy, in the future, by the way, someone is going to call you some racist nationalist peddling eugenics for this formula of why being overweight is bad for humans. But the vaccine can save us. I don't actually believe that, to be honest. And then says CNN claims the CDC that more than 99% of fully vaccinated people have not had a breakthrough COVID case resulting in hospitalization or death, which is a total crock of shit. But let's be honest, you can't help these people. You know I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but something I've noticed reading this crap. If you're on the left and you read this crap, you learn absolutely nothing. You may as well be a Narnia doing blow with pixies at this point. But if you're on the right and you read this, you will quickly see why the left lives in a completely alternative world. And let me say this quick. If you're secretly a white supremacist, you'd be in favor of this ideological crap, because who suffers from this bullshit? Minorities. The right is overwhelmingly white and driven by data and effectiveness. You'll have your race grifters who make bank, BLM and the Al Sharpton types that ruthlessly capitalize on suffering, but the conservatives will just progress through meritocracy. One has the recipe for success, the other is a recipe for failure. But anyway, she tries and has a very, very poor go at the man's suggestion with all the reasoning of a drunken chipmunk, comparing the regulation of making things that make us sick illegal as mirroring the argument of Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, who was against healthcare being an intrinsic ethical right because healthcare wouldn't even be necessary if only people would change the way they eat, the way they live, their lifestyle, and their diet. First off, that is true. If you are in better shape, you are less likely to be in poor health, and anyone who disagrees with that are people not fit for conversation, no pun intended. And healthcare consists of resources, money, and labor, which you arrogant peasants are not entitled to simply because you breathe. I can think of plenty of reasons why a person who makes their money, lots of it, by selling salad would want to make things that are not salad illegal, and the companies who make foods that are not salad pay more taxes. And I'm sympathetic to it, honestly. Sounds like a great business strategy, but one that, sorry to the salad man, won't end the pandemic. Frankly, she lost me at I can think. The article has convinced me that is not the case. But secondly, making things that make you sick illegal is not going to magically drive more people to his restaurants, you dumbo. There's plenty of other things people can consume that are healthy that are not salads, more specifically, his salads. And I'll end this by asking, what new information did we get? What helpful thing did we learn from any of this? Nothing, not a damn thing. And that's all for today. Until next time.